Yo! Welcome to another episode of Under the Surface, a talk show where we talk all things Bazaar. Last time we were talking about comeback mechanics in general. Today we wanted to focus on one that is already in the game, also known as Resurrection Event or Stasia. We are going to present a couple of ideas how to make that event a little bit more exciting. So, without further ado, let's dive under the surface. Last week, we were talking about comeback mechanics in the game, and I guess we told you a couple of cold hard truths regarding the game. But if you have not watched the episode, there's probably a link in the description. There's, link to the whole playlist of Under the Surface. But today, we are talking about Resurrection Event, in particular. And we were thinking, what's so great about the enchantment that we do not want any other options? Because currently the Resurrection Event or Stasia, because that's the name of the Fate girl, she offers on the left 3 diamond items, which you get to choose one of. Then in the middle, a random enchantment. So you get an option to get one that is rolled for you, that is sort of visible, that is offered to you on a plate. And there's also option to get completely random enchantment from an artist. But on the right, we have 20 gold and 5 XP points. I have no data regarding this, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Tempo does have that data, and I'm almost certain that 99% of resurrection events go through the center to the random enchantment. Why is that? Explain to me, Blake.
The middle option is the only option that can really is guaranteed scaling to your build. The other 2 options are sort of ideas of what you could do. 20 gold and 5 XP. Okay, you could do something with that, but there's still another step. You know what I mean? And the same thing with the diamond items. You need to get an item that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to the enchantment, you can put an enchantment on one of your items, and your build will be better.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
That's true. Well, unless you are running a complete pile, then getting a diamond item can possibly improve that, but at the same time, you are, going to a casino and just pulling a lever to get 3 7s on that screen, because that's essentially what it is. Out of all the items in the game, around, 500? Something like that, counting all the hero items and also neutral items, probably 400 to 500 items right now. The chances of getting actually a useful item for your build are sort of low. And as you said, if you get 20 gold and also 5 XP, and to be fair, if you get that 5 XP, you are most likely leveling up. Yeah, cool, you got an extra level. So maybe you got a skill, maybe you got an item, from that level up. But essentially, you are not pushed too far forward through that. And also, you are getting those 20 gold, so you won't even afford a literal diamond item with that amount. The gold is rather negligible, and we have to be mindful of the fact that if you get to a resurrection event, you lost at least a couple of times. You are subpar to that particular moment during a run.
You're a loser.
Yes, which is unfortunate. But yeah, if your board has some sort of synergy, but maybe you didn't have enough luck to get proper skills earlier, or the random enchantment that you got during a level up earlier wasn't particularly useful for you at that point, you get another chance of getting an enchantment. To be fair, you can get another useless enchantment this time, but another chance is better than no chance at all. But we were thinking, what can be done to those other 2 options besides the center one? Because, to be fair, it's all right. It can stay. But what can be done to those item options and XP options? Yeah, you need some form of scaling. You need some form of accelerating your board. And I was thinking, well, if we're getting a random enchantment, why won't we get a skill? Would you like to get a skill from a resurrection event?
I would love to get a skill. My thought was you get the option, you get your 3 options. One of them says get a free skill. You click on it, and then you have like the diamond skill vendor.
Adira,
And
yeah.
maybe, yeah, and then maybe you could do it where it's like some of the level up events where you get the diamond skill vendor and then you get like 2 other vendors, so you can pick something that has the most chance to be synergistic with you. If for some reason you don't want a diamond skill, but I mean most of the time you choose the diamond skill,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like.
true. Yeah,
But
I think
I
that
don't,
would be reasonable because middle option, the enchantment option, already works like this, and I cannot for the life of me, like level 10, level 11? Is that it? I think
I think
that's,
it's 10.
yeah, I think that's 10. And the diamond skill option, I think, happens at level 15. If the middle resurrection option already works like a level up, then the skill option also could work like a level up reward, you know?
And I think giving the player more choices rather than just like being a random diamond skill or something feels better when you have agency over that, versus just getting whatever they give you.
There are more chances of getting something useful that can actually allow you to get to this next breakpoint during a run. Like to, let's say you are at 6 wins and you want to get this one additional and then you're done. You don't even mind if you lose the next fight. You just want to get to those 7 wins. So yeah, a skill would probably work in that scenario. So that's one option that can happen in that regard. But I was thinking, well, maybe your board is low level. Maybe you're still running some bronze items which do fit your strategy, but let's say you are running a double core dually and you have a bronze GPU on your board or bronze motherboard, and that item is needed in that particular build. But at that point in the game, you won't have any chances of upgrading it to silver, to gold. And that additional haste would work wonders. So why not Forger? Or, well, not necessarily like one Forger event, but maybe like 3 in a row. So you could upgrade one item 3 times, or like 3 different items 1 time. Would you like that?
Yeah, I think I was really struggling to figure out how you would make that work, because I was thinking of it like the B1 and B2, how they reworked that event. Now it's like levels up all bronze items, but I think the just doing 3 forges in a row would probably be good. I don't see myself choosing that often over the other options we've come up with or the enchantment. But yeah, when you put it like that way, where you have like an essential item that's still bronze, that kind of changes some of those aspects where like there's kind of a problem in the game where you want to sell a bronze item to get a silver or a gold version of it because it's too late. So I think that does help that issue too. So yeah, I don't think it's bad at all. I think it would be chosen just less often by me personally.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that this is going to be the most powerful option during your resurrection event, but what I'm saying is there are cases in which you would actually like those extra upgrades for your board to get over this last hurdle. Maybe those upgrade options could be offered like that, or maybe it could work like B1 and B2, and it would upgrade all your board by 1 tier. And, that would probably be really strong because you could sort of set up your board to be like all gold, die, and then get to all diamond in one go.
I don't know. The other thing is I don't know what the balance would be on that. What's too weak and what's too strong for this particular event too, because like that sounds like a good idea. And then you're like, you could just set your whole board up to gold. Well, that would be like that kind of incentivizes to go to Stacia. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
a problem.
That's why I'm saying there are a couple of ways of doing it. Like 3 forges in a row, I think would be the easiest to implement, probably. Well, I'm no coder. And also like it gives you some sort of, how to put it, you can make decision in regards to what to upgrade and how many times. And I think that would be cool. But, moving on. I have more ideas. How about, this Monster Ranch event? So how about you were to get like a Monster Ranch event where you get all the items presented?
Oh my God.
And I would even say that it would be cool if every time you go to that like sort of monster ranch, that one of the items was insect wing and one was feather and 3 were, let's say, random. you were always guaranteed some form of cooldown reduction on your items.
Yeah. I mean, that's normally what you want to choose anyway when you go to Monster Ranch. So
That is true.
And are you saying you just get one of them? You get
Well, one of each, So just imagine that this is sort of like Monster Ranch, but you are, essentially dead. You get resurrected, and one of your resurrection options is sort of get 5 loot items, and one of those loot items would always be feather, and one would be insect wing, and 3 of the rest would be random. Because if you didn't get feather or insect wing, or if you get multiple copies of those, you could be either really screwed or really happy. And normalizing that, where you get like 1 feather, 1 insect wing, and then 3 random options that are not either insect wing or feather, to not increase the power level of that option too much. Although, what do I know? I think would be okay. It would probably be actually desired by some builds. Let's say you are running like pufferfish or bellista, or maybe the actual ballista that gains multicast, for ammo items or whatever it's called. Reducing cooldowns on your core items could actually be as significant as getting an enchanted item.
Yeah, I mean, I think that seems pretty fun and pretty strong. So definitely build specific, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm getting at. The resurrection event could probably offer some range of variety in terms of, the rewards that you can get to let you win at least 1 or 2 more rounds. Depending on your build, you would want different things. And right now, all of the builds usually want the enchantment. This is not fun. This is not really... There's no place for skill expression in this scenario. That's why I prepared some packages that different builds would prefer. And, that's not all. That's not all. I have more packages.
Before you move on to the next package, do you think the resurrection event should offer more than 3 options? Would you be interested in that?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, if it did, then we would be like better off, right? But at the same time, I feel like with what I'm proposing here, we already have, I think, 4 options, and I have 2 more, I think. That would be 6 in total. So getting 3 out of 6 would be actually fun. So we have starting kits now, and there's a whole list of those, and you get 2 to choose from. So if you were to get a resurrection event and you get 3 out of 6 options, then you wouldn't be like sort of preparing every time, oh yeah, I'm going to definitely take this option. No, you would have to evaluate each of those that were presented to you and choose the best one.
I didn't even think about that. I like that way better, where they swap in and out, so you don't just know I'm going to get the enchantment and that's what I'm going for. I like it. Feels way better.
Right now, we can either get diamond items or gold and XP. How about we combine those? So imagine like a port-like event where you would choose your, package, So you choose a type of item that you would like. So a weapon, a tool, a tech item, shielding, maybe healing item, maybe poison item, something like that. Plus XP. So you would get 1 diamond item of that particular type that you chose, and let's say 5 XP or maybe 4 XP if that's more in line. And that list of items could also be sort of randomized in the sense that you would get 3 out of X, there's a lot of types of items, and you would be rolled 3 of those, and you would be able to choose, let's say, either a weapon plus XP, tech plus XP, or poison plus XP. And it's up to you what you would prefer.
Yeah, I like that way better because, right now, like we said, you just show up there and then you get 3 items that are just usually not related to your build at all, and then you just sell one. And at that point, you're like, well, I should have went to the 20 gold 5 XP event. I feel like most of the time you go to that event, you should feel like you're leaving with an item you want, or that can generally work with your build.
Exactly.
Because it feels horrible when you just go there and get garbage and then...
Most of the time, if you get the diamond item option and you do not see anything that's useful, you get the biggest item that you can get because that's the most gold. As you said, at that point, you would rather get 5 XP. I think this could be a cool addition to the Resurrection event, cool mix-up of the things that we already have. And also, what I'm proposing is sort of already in the game in other ways. So a monster ranch, pod, things like that, So I think it would be easy to appropriate those mechanics into Resurrection event.
Seems easy. It is easy. We know it's easy. Tempo, get on it. You never know how complicated things could be, but yeah, I do think personally, if maybe they've already changed Stacia with the open beta patch, who knows? But I do think if they haven't said it publicly, I think they're going to rework her at some point because I don't know, it feels like she's underutilized as an idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember, but apparently there were meant to be 3 fates, like 3 sister fates, and we only have 1 right now. Is it possible that the other 2 are yet to come and are going to offer us different stuff?
I wondered that too, because I didn't know if they served entirely different roles or if they were supposed to be interchangeable on the Resurrection event.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any clue about that? Or I know didn't one of them show up in the Bazaar 37 from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't remember what she did, and it seems like out of character for me.
Yeah, normally you have it memorized word for word.
Yeah, I guess it's been a long time since I watched it. A lot of things happened in the Bazaar, so you cannot really memorize all the historic stuff regarding the game, where every 2 weeks the game is completely different. Well, completely is maybe too strong of a word, but it's noticeably different.
Yeah, I assume those fates will probably be in the game soon too. It's a little bit, I guess, presumptuous of me, considering that we saw them all the way back then and they seem like an important part of the Bazaar lore and ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
But who knows?
So, you know what? One last thing that I was thinking that could actually improve your scaling, your power, is health. Because, Writ offers you health. And I was thinking, why wouldn't Stacia do that as well? But at the same time, wouldn't that be a bit too powerful in a right scenario? Because imagine if you are a pig that stacks health sky high, and then you are offered like plus 15% health. Or maybe plus 20. The number doesn't really matter that much, but like a little bit more. In that situation, if you are like double whammy or Kane or whatever, then you definitely want that health. But if you are not, then I'm not sure if this is like the most impactful option that you could get.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea, because what if there was like an option that would pop up that's specific to that hero only? I know that's an extra thing for them to add and deal with for each hero, but if you tailor it specifically to Pig, and then you have another thing that's tailored specifically towards Vanessa whenever she has her resurrection event, if that's the thing that could possibly show up, then it kind of balances it out versus a pig would definitely want that health if they're going double whammy or something, but maybe a Vanessa ability that gives all of her weapons additional damage could be something.
True, but at the same time, Vanessa sometimes runs like poison aquatic stuff, so in that situation it wouldn't be as useful. But yeah, there's something to it, Resurrection event could possibly be tailored towards each of the heroes. I didn't think of that, but yeah, that could work, at least to some degree.
You already have the extra options on their level up, so it could be something very similar to that. I can't remember what any of them are, besides Pig has a health option, but
Vanessa can get instead of a random silver item or bronze or whatever the tier, a good weapon, in particular, or Dooley can get a friend in particular, and also skill vendors, there are specialized skill vendors for each of the heroes. Yeah, I think you're onto something. Yeah.
Shadow government's at work again.
Right. I hope that this video, this discussion, sort of shed new light on how the resurrection event could work. And I think we had some cool ideas today. So, I think Tempo can, write down some notes. I wouldn't be that, surprised if some of our ideas from today will end up in the game. It happened before.
Yeah. Maybe they've been working on this and they're already 2 steps ahead of us, but I think these are good changes.
Yeah, I think they're worth looking into. I think they're worth testing, and maybe we'll get some cool new resurrection options in very near future. So yeah, that's the resurrection as I would like it for you. And if you, our dear viewers, have any ideas what other resurrection options could be put into the game. But besides that, thanks for watching. That's it for today. So, leave a comment, leave a sub, leave a like in any order.
Yeah, see you on my channel on Thursday.
Oh, yes.
Where we'll be talking about the open beta, I'm sure.
Most likely. Once again, thank you for watching and bye.
See ya.